Blind Tiger originated back in 2018 when I had an idea to create a confectionery company that was tied to prohibition. But I think like most entrepreneurial ventures, some things get sidelined, and this particular idea just didn't come to fruition, and I already had the company. And then this past year, when the pandemic occurred, we had to shut our restaurant down. We have a restaurant that's also a little speakeasy style restaurant, and we were only allowed to provide takeout for a period of time. But in Pennsylvania, you're not allowed to sell alcohol to go. But one of our biggest sellers, 90% of our bar, were craft cocktail sales, and we knew we had to kind of pivot to figure out how we could make up for that during the pandemic. So our team came up with non-alcoholic versions of classic cocktails, and we started selling those to go. And they were such a hit that I thought, maybe this is something we can capitalize on in the company that I developed several years earlier. So we did this for a while, and then I did a lot of research into the non-alcoholic market and realized that there's a huge percentage of people in the United States, over 30%, that don't drink for a variety of different reasons. And I figured this might be a really interesting way to kind of pivot into this and see if we can't make something that we can actually go out and sell beyond our own doors. So we studied some of the classic cocktails, and we originally came up with 5 cocktails that were inspired by Prohibition: the Bee's Knees, the Ward 8, the Sidecar, Southside, and the Bacardi. But we found out the Bacardi was actually trademarked. So there's only a handful of drinks that are trademarked in the United States, so we had to drop that one. And what we did is, instead of having the spirit, we have particular ingredients that mimic the flavors of the spirit. So in a couple of the cocktails, there's gin, but instead of gin, we have juniper berries. And in one, instead of cognac, you replace that with like an apple cherry combination with bitter. So it's been a really interesting venture, and it's been a lot of fun to see it kind of play out over time. The reason we decided to launch the Kickstarter campaign is because we wanted to get our product into a much larger audience. So we are hoping you support us and are willing to test this out, because we would like to get some feedback on it before we actually get our product out into the market.